Okay, guys. So I've got the Highway Patrol Interceptor put together, and it's clear coated, and the decals are all on it. And I got the push bar on the front. Now none of that's painted yet, so I still have to paint all that. But what I am going to show you in this video is a how-to for building a homemade light bar. So that's what I'm going to do with this stuff here, is put it all together, make a homemade light bar for across the roof, and hopefully you guys will be able to do this on your builds. So let's get started.
Listen.
Okay, so to make the light bar, I simply used styrene sheet goods. I use Evergreen, so I mean, I don't know if there's different brands or whatever, but and the dimensions of the base and the top are 45 millimeter by 6 millimeter. The dimensions of the interior and the actual light bodies themselves are 43 by 4 millimeters. So basically what it's going to do is, when I put them together, it is basically going to give me a 1 millimeter reveal. So a 1 millimeter reveal all the way around, and that 1 millimeter reveal you see all the way around there is what I will fill with epoxy once I actually detail the inside of the lights. So the first step that I got to do is glue. So I'm just going to use Tamiya's extra thin glue, and you're going to want to make sure that you get this over the whole piece. Okay, so now that I have that all glued together, I'm going to actually square it up. And in order to square it up, I'm just going to take one of my sanding sticks, such as these ones here that I showed you from the dollar store, and I'm going to use the rough side. And from the rough side, I'm just going to take the piece itself and run it up and down on the sandpaper. So now what I've done is I've just taken my ruler and I've marked the light bar off in 3 millimeter intervals. So what I'll do now is take my knife and I will actually make groove marks where those 3 millimeter intervals are, and that'll give me my individual lights. Okay, so there's one side done. So if you look at it, you can actually see where now you can identify where the individual lights are going to be. And you got to remember, this is a 1985 car, so I can't be making a high intensity LED strobe light for the roof of it. It's got to look like something that would have been on the car back in 1985. I'm just going to keep on going now on the other side and do the notches right across the back half, and we'll be back when I'm done with that. Okay, so now that I have the light, the internal section, so this is actually the lights themselves built, what I'm going to do is take and cut down my chrome foil or my tin foil tape that I use for doing my bare metal work, and apply that to the outside ring, and that'll be my background for my lenses. Okay, so now you get the idea of what I'm doing, right? So those are individual lights, and the backdrop, once I paint these red and blue with a pearl, it'll shine through as a light. So I'll do the other side now, and I'll be back to continue. Okay, so now that I have the chrome all on the actual light, I've got to paint the individual lights. And what I'm going to use to paint those is Tester's Taillight Red. So this is, it's see-through red. And I'm going to use Tester's Metallic Metal Flake Blue. The effects will look something like this, which will be a nice looking light. And then that gives me this effect when she's all painted. You got the red and blue. Okay, so all I did while I was gone was I painted the top of it, and I just use a metallic marker, and then I ran around the outside edge with a black Sharpie, and on the light itself I actually painted the middle black with a Sharpie, and then on the outside corners where I'm going to have a white ditch light, I just went around the border with a black Sharpie marker. Now I'm ready to put this light together. So keep in mind which piece is your top, because that's going to be the chrome or the silver piece, and you can drop your lights inside the actual bar now and get it all put together. So So right now I'm just lining it up for fit to make sure that it fits good. Making sure I've got equal distance on both ends in and equal distance all the way around, which I do. Okay, so now I'm going to put the top portion on it. And make sure that I get that all centered up where I want it. Okay, so I've got the light bar all put together, all lined up. I decided to go with a black top instead of a silver top because the car itself is actually silver on the top. It's two-tone white and silver, and the light just kind of disappeared with that. So this way here, this is going to match the front push bar is going to be a satin black. The mirrors are going to be a satin black. I'm not sure about the lights yet that are going to be mounted up here, if they're going to be satin black or if they're going to be chrome. But regardless, this is what the light bar looks like at this stage. So now what I'm going to do is mix up my epoxy and fill this void that I left all the way around with epoxy, and it'll give me a nice lens for the lights. Okay guys, so I took my 5-minute epoxy, I mixed it all up. I simply used a cap and a toothpick, and I went around that void that I made in the light and filled it all the way around. And then after I did that, I just put it on the end of a stick and I just kept spinning it so that it would, let me move that up, so that it would fill the void and dry evenly. So you can see what you end up with is a pretty nice looking light bar with the red and the blue, and I think that's going to look pretty nice on top of the roof of Project Interceptor. And that's it. It's that simple to scratch build yourself a light bar for the roof of your vehicle. I showed you how to scratch build the push bar for the front of it if you wanted to make one of those. And really, with a little bit of imagination, you guys can make anything you want. So keep building, have fun. We'll see you in the next video.